What's up, everyone? Andre and Jake here to discuss the news that we finally have Daisy in Mario Strikers Battle League. It is time, it is happening, and that's not all. We're getting Shy Guy too, who I'm a big Shy Guy bro, so I'm all about this. I'm all aboard the Shy Guy train. Jake, how are you feeling about this?
I feel pretty good. You know what I mean? As with two DLC characters, that's not a ton. But these are a great two to start out with. I feel like they know we wanted Daisy. They know Shy Guy's a fan fave in the Strikers world. I think this is a strong start for character DLC.
Yeah, I mean, you had to start with Daisy. I think I said this before. They had to get Daisy in here. But I'm also happy to see, Jake, that before the game had even released, or maybe on release, I forget exactly, I posted a video showing that there seemed to be evidence that Shy Guy would be coming, because the voice actor is found in the credits. I'm like, here he is, finally. So got my boy, we got Daisy back, so this is finally a real Mario Strikers game. Without Daisy, this was not Strikers. I don't know why they call it Strikers when you don't have Daisy in there.
Yeah, and it's I think we knew that free updates were coming to the game.
Right.
They tweeted that out like a few weeks ago, I think. And I was definitely surprised to see that trailer this morning. I know a lot of people out there are waiting for Mario Kart, but we got this instead. And I thought it was like a really fun, cool trailer. I will say I'm a little like, I feel like we have this roadmap now, and I'm sure we're going to talk about that. We have this picture that's being put out there that kind of sets the expectation of what we're looking at in terms of DLC going forward. And there's something that I'm like, I don't exactly know what it is, but I wish we had a little bit more. Like, if we follow this pattern and it's just two characters, a stage, and a, what are we calling it? Gear, a pack of gear each time. I don't know if that's enough for me, and it's cool right now that we're getting Daisy. It's cool that we're getting Shy Guy, but by the time that third DLC pack rolls around, let's say it's November, am I going to be pushing Pokemon Scarlet aside to play Strikers DLC? I don't know.
That's a tough question, right? Yeah. I think you raise a good point, because if you saw my review, I had some issues with this game, and the least of them was the lack of content, though that is a problem. That wasn't my main problem with the game, and it seems like this is doing nothing to rectify some of the issues some people may have with the game beyond content. So yeah, it is a little bittersweet. It's like, yes, we're getting new content, including Daisy and Shy Guy, which, hey, I'm all aboard for. Love those characters, which is weird to say about Daisy. She's really grown on me over the years, especially in Strikers. Strikers, I think, helped put her on the map, so that's why it's good to have her back. But yeah, beyond that, it's like, I'm going to check them out. I'm going to see their animations, which we've already seen a lot of already, of course. And maybe not a lot of, but we saw like their main one being the entrances and the hyper strikes. But yeah, beyond that, it's like, is it gonna be enough to pull me back in? Probably not. You know, like, it's gonna be fun for a few minutes, and then we're gonna be back to where we are now. And again, it is nice to see getting support from Nintendo through the end of the year. Seemingly 6 characters, presumably another 3 stadiums counting the desert we're getting here today, and then the gear. I cannot care less about the gear. Like, get the gear out here. I don't care.
I'm so glad you said that. I've been thinking about the gear this morning, and I'm like, man, the gear is something that when I'm actually playing the game is so not present. It's so just like not, it just, I'm not thinking about the gear I'm wearing. I'm not thinking about the gear my opponents are wearing.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, in fighting games, and like good fighting games, something that's talked about a lot is the idea of like accountability. And if I lose this match, is there a system in the game of accountability where, like, if I'm playing Smash and I lose, I just go, oh no, they're just better than me.
Right.
I have to get better. But in a lot of games, you do have like a gear system and something that goes, okay, you know what, if I just play on my own for a little while, I can get this and maybe that'll make me better. And I feel like this game, it's like neither of those things. It's just like a fake costume.
It's a little strange. It's weird to say that it adds like too much depth. I feel like it does. Like, I'm not when I play Strikers, I'm not interested in the meta of matching equipment and, you know, what my opponents are wearing. I don't care about that stuff. Like, it complicates things. I don't need it. That's partially why I'm also not a huge fan of the card components of Mario Kart, but that really doesn't matter as much. But I mean, it kind of does, it kind of doesn't. But in any case,
yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, that's just a core game design issue. I'm just gonna have to get used to it at this point. That's not changing, obviously, and they're adding new gear for it, which, hey, it's great for those who are excited for the gear. I do wish it would lean in a little bit more into, like, the Mario side of things. I don't know, like yeah, like Knight, like okay, I guess we could be a Knight now. So
I agree, because if it was like, okay, here's the gear pieces, and instead of being themed after a Knight, it's themed after a piranha plant. So the helmets are like your piranha thing.
That'd be great.
And it's like what? Why not? Like, at least then it's a fun costume, so I want to wear it, and not just like, all right, I'm putting the claws on Bowser because that's cool, I guess.
He already had claws in Mario Strikers Charged as well. In any case, but I do want to circle back to these two characters themselves, but I think this is a strong start. Shy Guy is interesting. I feel maybe it's my own bias showing, but I feel like Shy Guy a few years ago would have been one of those like filler characters, like, oh great, we got Shy Guy, who cares? But I feel like he's fit in this niche now. He's found this niche that I don't know. He's a standout among the enemies, among the Mario crew, and I kind of love like his pairing with Daisy. It just kind of works. I don't know. I kind of dig it. I like that these two are coming as a single, together in this first content pack, the first of 3, and I just love how they introduced him in the trailer. Daisy's dance is fantastic. Like, one of the things with this game is like, are they going to retain the edginess of past Mario Strikers? And I think they by and large did. They kind of put like this different spin on it, and the way it's working with Daisy is perfect. Like, I love what we've seen of her so far, and I can't wait to see. I think someone in the chat mentioned her losing animations. That's what I'm excited to see. How's she going to react to that? Because she had some amazing ones before. So.
Yeah, I hear you on Shy Guy. I feel like Shy Guy is something now with social media and stuff. I feel like we can just kind of lean into Shy Guy in a way that we haven't before. But Shy Guy also stands out because he is one of these characters that we have deemed able to have multiples of on one team. So like Yoshi and Toad, we can have, even if they're all the same color, like Yoshi would be if Yoshi were on a red team, they'd all be red Yoshis.
Right.
We would have Shy Guys all being the same. And I actually dig when in Strikers you can have a squad deep character and because it's kind of funny when you're online and you play like a 4-Toad team. So it's just like, it's kind of just like worth it for that. I want to give a shout out to Cammy for the super chat. Cammy, thank you so much for being here, joining us for this Super Mario Strikers discussion. Cammy, who do you want to see as DLC? That's what I want to know.
Thanks, Cammy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah, I think you were hitting on the head there with a lot of the things there. But I was just rewatching the Shy Guy trailer, Jake, as you were talking, and I love how he comes in like a missile, like he's just like twirling through the air, like he's a bullet bill or something. I don't know. I like Next Level Games does have a way of like bringing these characters to life to a point, Jake. That I almost started getting like an Uncanny Valley thing with Daisy for a brief moment, because her lip syncing is on point. She actually, like, her mouth actually forms the word she's saying. I'm like, whoa. I'm sure all the characters do it, but I didn't notice it until now.
So I edited the video we put up, the short for Daisy, so I was watching a lot of that in slow motion, and I totally agree. I was like, wow, there's a lot going on here. There's a lot of like in between frames that I'm like, man, they're working hard on this. Yeah, now, it's cool.
Now, can we talk about Shy Guy's stats? How it's the exact same in every category?
Yeah, they say gear's important for Shy Guy.
I guess. I don't know. We'll see. He's just shy to show off his skills without that gear. He needs to cover up more to fully reveal himself, I think. So
do you think Shy Guy being a DLC character means that we are more likely to see maybe one in the if there are two every time, one of the two being a group character for that, it's serving that purpose, like a Dry Bones, a Koopa, a Hammer Bro, like that kind of world of characters?
I think so. Yeah, I think it'd be. I feel like it'd be weird if he didn't, or if they didn't. I suppose.
Well, Dry Bones is the one that I feel like has to be here. Yeah, because from the old.
Yeah, so I mean that's the thing. So it seems like we know that there are 4 more characters coming. We don't know for sure, but that seems to be the case if they follow the trend of this one. So who else? Yeah. So who else could we get? So I love the idea of Dry Bones. You also threw out the idea of Gooigi earlier.
I love Gooigi. Gooigi would be perfect for this game. It all makes so much sense. I feel like Next Level Games, they understand how to do these silly little animations, and every little thing you can do in this game, from like Gooigi doing a little dodge and like becoming all slippery.
Yes, like a T1000 almost.
Yes, no, it's so cool, and like using like his little fake gooey vacuum, and just I don't know, there's so much opportunity for creativity with a character that is just like a goo, I guess, that I think it would be really fun. And he is a character that you could do this squad deep thing with. And because we've seen that in the multiplayer mode, so he could be one of these characters that you have. Oh my god, if that happens, I'm rolling 4 to Guigi's deep.
True. I mean, I honestly hope that they lean, as you were saying earlier, that they lean more into that, because that kind of, you could better mimic the captain and team mechanic of the previous strikers, where you have the one lead, you got the rest of the same character as backup for the rest of the team, and that was just a fun little thing. So yeah, you get Dry Bones in there, you get Guigi. It'd be great. And another great thing about Guigi, I think a point in his favor is that's a next level games creation right there. They made Guigi. They made this game. It only makes too much sense, and I think they can have a ton of fun with the animations in a fast-paced soccer game, and I'm all about it. Like, Guigi, I think, is one of those characters that could have just been a lame clone, but no. Guigi transcends this.
Yes, I totally agreed. The more we talk about it, the more I'm like invested. I like need Guigi, especially if we have an update roll around October. You get those spooky vibes, bring them back. Like, that'd be perfect. But yeah, and I've like tweeted about this before too, and people have suggested Egad being a fun character as well. And yeah, that'd be cool. But I just feel like there's something about Guigi.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all aboard the EGAD train. He deserves more love. He's in the ranks of like Toadsworth now, who's been completely forgotten about for some reason. Toadsworth and the Piantos, like they've all been.
Okay, no, okay, relax. He's not Toadsworth. Okay.
Wait, I don't know what rankings are we dealing with here? Wait, I would know. Where are you coming from here? Who's above who?
Irrelevance. Egad is more relevant than Toadsworth.
It's pretty close, Jake. I think you're vastly overselling the relevance of Egad these days. What was the last game Egad was in? What was the last game he was in?
Luigi's Mansion 3.
Well, I guess you're right. But barely. You're right, I forgot. He somehow was in that to such a degree that I actually forgot about the game, despite referencing the game mere seconds ago. Yeah. Alright, you're right. Toadsworth is a little bit behind that, so.
Yeah.
But I would love for him to be featured in the game. I don't think he will be, though. Like, he's the one that he had a small window where he was featured in the spin-off games. Like he was in the Mario Baseball games, but he kind of fell off the train there. So I'm hoping that, I hope that he will be back, or, I would like for him to be back. I don't think he will be, so.
Yeah.
Who else?
The Mario Baseball games, by the way, that's a great pool of like side characters and stuff. Those are the best. Those rosters were awesome. They had to have so many. So you just got all these fun characters. There's one that I don't think has ever been a playable character in a Mario game before that I would like to pitch. Not King Bomb, not the King Babam, but just a normal Babam. Like, just the Babam with the feet, doing silly strikers things. I think he could run around all funny. I think he could do little explosions to kick the ball.
Oh my god.
And I think a bunch of them could team up to do a big Hyper Strike, and it'd be awesome.
That is an amazing idea.
Yes.
I love it. Let's do it.
Yes.
All right. I don't think it'll happen, but the more out there these characters are, the better.
Yes.
So
yeah.
I just had, God, what was I just thinking of? I just had a thought for a character, and it's bugging me that I lost it. It's gonna come back to me, Jake. Once it does, I'm gonna be all on it. So, let's circle back to the character discussion in a moment. I want to talk about something else that they introduced here that we haven't really touched on much. We're getting a new stage here too, a new arena, or half arena, if you will, I guess, being the desert, which at first actually makes a lot of sense, because that ties in thematically with Daisy, who comes from Sarasa Land, which had a big desert component, but also Shy Guy, who had a desert-themed track in Mario Kart 7, and also been featured in other desert areas before. I don't know if that's intentional. I kind of love it, though. But, Jake, I'm upset that it is, by and large, a generic desert. I don't want a generic desert. I want Sarasa Land. Why not get some actual character representation in here? Like, outside, I kind of feel like, to be fair, this is kind of like a Striker's problem in general. They've never had, like, great compelling arenas, really, by and large. But I feel like this is giving the chance to reverse it, like make some cool Mushroom Kingdom themed courses, and we're not really getting that. We're getting, we have the castle, we got Bowser's castle, we have DK's jungle, and those, beyond that, really not anything else is going on here.
Bowser does not claim that castle. That is that is Lava Castle. That is not Bowser. No.
Okay, well, see, there we go.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No, yeah, it's awful. And yeah, I think something really they're really making me scratch my head with the arenas, because something I find really strange about it is like the club, which is something I think that's like one of the main selling points of this game and how you play online, is the club during the seasons.
Have you used it real quick?
Yes, I have a club.
Oh, nice. All right.
Yeah, and you can go in and individually see every player and their win-loss rate, so I know which one of my friends to text to get it together. And so every week I go, hey, Zach, get it together. But no, so I'm the head of the club, so I've been all over that feature. And something that really like I don't quite understand is that when you have a club, you set up your club's uniform and your club's arena, which you then can use in any mode. But the arena that you pick for your club starts off at this little baby mode, whereas the one you would pick in a normal quick match is the maximum level. So why am I trying to even earn all of the coins to make mine big if it's no. They gotta fix this. And I know you can have like little customizable parts to it, but it doesn't really read when you're actually playing the game. And I just don't quite understand them introducing an arena that adds so little to this DLC that I'm like, I guess you have to.
See,
like I guess you literally So.
This would be a great time to introduce like maybe stage-based hazards or something to make the arenas a little bit more unique. Or I've been talking about this with a friend of mine, and one of the concerns is that, okay, if you add hazards like charged, then you add another level of chaos on top of which already a very chaotic game. You have the gear, you have the team interactions, you have the items, you have the hypercharges, or hyperstrikes rather. But I have an idea, Jake. If they added arena-based hazards, that could be something you manually activate with a hyperstrike instead. So rather, instead of kicking the ball, you can choose to activate the hazard on your side or on the opponent's side, I guess, whatever, and that causes something to happen and make it a little bit harder to for your opponent to score a goal or something. So,
Andre, let me iterate on this idea.
Go for it.
Let me give it a little twist.
All
okay,
right.
so hyper strikes, purely offensive. Stage hazards, purely defense.
There we go. Yeah, I love it. See?
Okay, so like, let's say you get a hyper strike ball and you're not on offense.
Right.
You activate it. It does an arena-specific thing that protects your side of the field.
This is genius. Yes, that is why isn't this a thing? Should be.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's so many opportunities for that. Like, we've got the like the spooky mansion. You could have like little boos come out, start messing with people. There's like every stage I feel like has something that kind of feeds into what you would imagine for this.
Right.
And it's disappointing that there's not even like, I don't know, I guess in like a single player mode, you would imagine to see something like that. And it's weird that it's not there anywhere. And yeah, I don't know. It feels like I hate to be one of those people, but it feels like there's something missing in the game.
Yeah, it's hard to pin down exactly what it is. I think there is room there for improvement without necessarily changing the core of the game, despite some of my issues being related to it. I also think part of the issue is just the field size. I think if they offered a bigger version of it, that would go a decent ways to making the game just feel a little better. And I don't know. I mean, it might help change the game a bit enough to make it a little more interesting to some people. I think the size is just a big sticking point for me. So if they offer like a bigger version of it, keep the themes, and make it everything bigger. I don't know. I think that could be interesting. But they need something to kind of like twist or change. Just like, I don't know, spice up the core gameplay just a little bit more. Or
I would love to see what would happen if they introduced a beat stage. And I know that game, like, the balance and the mechanics or whatever, maybe they're not made for that. Game design is hard. I get all that stuff. I would be so curious about it because, Andre, when we had our grudge match stream last week, my father, who had never seen a second of Mario Strikers gameplay in his life, he called me up and he said, "Why is the field so small?" And
wow.
Andre, I literally have a screenshot from an old Strikers game on my phone.
Yeah.
That I texted him and was like, it wasn't always like this.
No, it wasn't.
And so it's one of those things where I'm like, you make the field bigger. Not only do you have more opportunities for hazards, but I think what it does to the gameplay is it makes your options more clear. It makes whether you make this choice or that choice, those leading passes. There's so much stuff in there that I'd love to know what the mission of the game was in its current form, just so I could better kind of, I think, interact with the idea of it, because it's hard for me to kind of pin down.
I feel like the core, I could be totally off base, but I feel like the core of the game is built around the idea of everyone controlling an individual character. And that's something you can barely do in this game. It's almost impossible to set that up. You can't do it online without 4 people being on a single system, and how often is that the case? And I think that's where the game faltered. I think they were trying to fit everyone in on the same screen, basically, on a smaller field, and that's why they introduced the team-based mechanics where you can like smash into a teammate and all that, and it just doesn't quite work, because it's just something that's not viable. It's not something you can easily do. So I think that's kind of where the game may have faltered. Again, I could be totally off base in that assessment, but yeah.
No, that just clicked it into place for me. Having to see all the players at once, making the field small, that clicked that into place for me. I didn't think about that. I think you're probably right. That's interesting. Yeah,
but that's something that is something, to be fair, you couldn't do, I think, in any of the previous Strikers games. It was always, I think, 2 on, or I guess you could have 4 on a team if you want to get CPUs, but that was the extent of it. So
right.
I remember who I was thinking of, Jake, for another DLC character. This is a good one. I'm saying this now. I'm not biased to all of this. This is an objectively great pick. Perhaps the best pick outside of Daisy, Jake. Critter. Critter, baby! We need Critter back! He's being upgraded from goalie. I want him in, and Critter's already come, I think. I feel like we've seen him in multiple colors before. He could be one of those multi-same-team characters, Jake, so...
I feel like Critter's below Toadsworth.
What? What? Yeah. No, Jake! No! Look, Bowsetta Koopa has my back in the chat. They're saying yes, 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 yes. True, says Ariel. Marissa asks who's Critter, which I'm gonna ignore that comment.
It's funny. It's like, how much of an allegiance do we have to these older games? I think, like, are we trying to? Because here's the thing: if we're bringing a character from the world of Donkey Kong, are we gonna pick Critter over Diddy? Over Funky? I don't know.
I mean, hey, I'm always all for Funky Kong, but I feel like Critter has a special place now. Like now that he's gone, we didn't know what we're missing. Like, we want him back. I don't think I'm alone in this. People who grew up with Strikers, we want Critter back. Now, admittedly, if you didn't grow up with Strikers, you probably don't care about him at all. But I feel, okay, as Devian says, no one cares about Critter. How dare you? How dare you, Devnium?
Another missed opportunity. I swear, just to make it so you remember you're on a different arena sometimes. Different goalie for each arena. That would have been so easy.
That's a great idea.
And not easy. I'm not trying to, throw stones, but just the idea of like, oh, now in this one it's a Boo, in this one it's Boom Boom, in this one it's a Critter, in this one it's, just like a boss type enemy in that world. Yeah, and it's hard to imagine getting a new goalie based on how the DLC is set up now. So I think Critter's best chance is as a striker. And I don't know. I gotta tell you, I have an image of a Critter in my head, and maybe it's not good, but I'm like, are his feet just so stumpy? Does he just have stumpy feet? Does he have long legs, or does he have stumpy
We've
legs?
seen his feet. I mean, not with shoes on, thankfully, I think. Or maybe not. Does he wear shoes? I don't know. Why are we talking about Critter's feet? How do we get on this topic?
It
matters. No, it doesn't. Does not matter.
Critter's a strange top-heavy fella. I just looked a picture of him, and I don't know about this Ninja Turtle, man.
I have seen a few King K. Rool comments in the chat. Yes, I would love King K. Rool to be here. Now that he has had a resurgence with Smash, let's bring him in the other games too. So I'd be all for that.
That is cool. I like Zega's suggestion in the chat here. What if we got Chain Chomp again? We got Chain Chomp, of course, in Mario Tennis. Is there a way that Chain Chomp could work in Strikers?
Wasn't he an item in Charge? Maybe not. I feel like I remember him going around the field. Was he?
I remember that too. He would drop down and he would chase people. Yeah, I remember that.
So Bowser got upgraded from a stage hazard to full character in Charge. So maybe they could do the same thing with Chain Chomp. I don't know. I feel like, it could work. They pulled it off with Aces, right? So maybe it could work. I don't know.
I'm trying to remember now. Did he hold his tennis racket in his mouth? Is that how they did it?
He must have. Although, I feel like he did. But I say that knowing that in the Mario baseball games, the baseball bat floats right in front of Goomba. So who the heck knows?
Yeah. Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah. All right. Who else? Thank you, Marissa. Appreciate that. Who just subscribed to the channel. We love hearing that. Jake, who else could they get in this game? Who else viably could they get in this game, you think?
Petey Piranha.
Yeah, I think that's a fairly easy one, I think.
Definitely. Petey Piranha, just introduced in Mario Kart Tour.
Yep.
I think a character that always has a little bit of heat. But I think right now, the character that I think is kind of the hotness for Nintendo Switch is, on the Wii, I feel like it was Rosalina, but now I think it's Pauline.
Yes. I think Pauline is a shoo-in. I think she is. She's appeared in all the other sports games at this point on Switch, so I think she's a guarantee. And I would love to see Next Level's take on her, because they always do something a little different, something a little edgier. We have not seen Next Level's take on Pauline yet, so...
That's a good point. And my long shot idea for DLC.
Link?
Really not sure if this is going to happen. Wait, what did you just say?
You said long shot. Something Link? Is Link coming to the game?
Well, listen, I'll tie it.
Oh,
boy. I wonder if it not being the first reveal counts this out or not. But, the characters, once again, every match starts out the team captain coming through this portal that is just there. And we don't have any context for what that portal is or where they're coming from. And I do wonder if that is enough to let us go. And out of the portal, here's Kirby. Or something like that. I think that'd be so cool. And I don't know Next Level Games like history in my brain well enough to tell you if they've worked on like other Nintendo properties that might be a better fit. But something like Kirby or Link, I just think would be so cool.
I feel like if we do get a third or another IP crossover here, I think it would be a more human type character. So I could see Link more than Kirby. Plus Kirby is just, he's too pure for Next Level Games, like level of edge, right? I don't know. What would that even be? Like, we've seen, North American box art Kirby, but you'd have to crank that up even more. So
he could have some cool like hyper strike stuff with like sucking in the ball.
Oh my god, you're right.
Crazy.
Oh,
that would be really fun.
Just inhales the entire universe and spits it back out just to score a goal. Love it. I'm trying to think of who else. Like, I do love this crossover idea though. Like, hey, oh my god, Samus's ship was in Rocket League. Why not put Samus into this game? They also there is a pedigree for this, considering Blast Ball. So hey.
Oh shoot, yeah. Oh dude, Samus is a good one. Another character. Like I can see those animations in my head. I see some people in the chat. I don't support this. I'm not saying this is gonna happen, but some people in the chat saying Sonic. That's a dream. Get into a third-party DLC and
He's
Mario Strikers.
If Ridley's too big, Sonic's too fast.
yeah. Good point.
I see. Someone here mentioned, who was it? The robot team from Mario Strikers 1. That could be. They have 4 team members, Jake. So there you go. You can fill your team that way with the super team. Oh, super.
Let me ask you this.
Gamer, yeah.
Do you think there's any chance that so what we have laid out for us is here's the free DLC that will be available before the end of 2022.
Yep.
Do you think there's any chance that we see either A, paid DLC, or B, DLC beyond 2022, and they just said this is what we're doing for this year?
Paid DLC, I mean, anything's possible. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, if we get paid DLC, it will be in the form of a NSO expansion pack type thing, where if you have NSO, it's free, which effectively makes it free for everyone, because why are you playing this game if you're not playing it online? Besides, well, local too, I suppose. But, no. I mean, I think it depends. I think it depends a lot. Honestly, I don't think we'll get paid DLC. I think there is a small chance of more expansion packs, or, more DLC packs, but that depends entirely on how well this game's momentum does. Like, if people keep playing it and Nintendo sees good traction on the DLC, I could see it. But they see, like, an immediate drop-off after each pack, I think that's it. I think it's done for. So, if I had to guess right now, I don't think we'll see any more DLC beyond this, but I'd be happy to be wrong.
Yeah, the only reason I'm curious is because I know there's, like, a little bit of a pattern now with the Mario sports games, and I just wondered if, given that this is Next Level and not one of the like other Mario Sports teams doing this, I wondered if it was going to get any kind of special attention. But now with the reveal of this, it does feel like it's kind of one of those. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think you're right. So we'll see. I hope. Yeah. I hope Nintendo, honestly, as we were kind of discussing earlier, I hope that they go beyond just DLC packs, like add some new modes. Like, I think if they want to maintain longevity with this game, that you're gonna need to add something new, whether it's power-ups or arenas or more arenas, more custom, more modes, whatever. There's a lot they could do to mix it up, and I think adding any of those would help a little bit more. So,
chat, I've been seeing a lot of ideas for DLC. I want to know. Here's my question for the chat. I just want to see yeses or nos. Daisy and Shy Guy, they're coming out Thursday night, Friday morning, depending on your time zone. Will you be logging in, turning on Mario Strikers because of the DLC? It's there. You're gonna go in. You're gonna check it out. I just want to see yeses or no, because I'm just curious. It's in a sports game. Adding 1 or 2 characters is such a drop in the pond. You know what I mean? Okay, I'm seeing a lot of yes. All right. Well, then
I'm adding a poll, Jake. I'm adding a poll. Let's see what the yep. All right, let's see what the chat has to say in the poll. There it is, at the top of the screen. Go ahead and vote in, everyone. I'm curious to see the results, although it does seem like yes is dominating, Jake. So,
man,
to be fair, Jake, we are dealing with a very biased sample. Everyone here is probably a Strikers fan. So, well, 80% right now, Jake. Going yes, they're gonna turn it on. Okay, it's dropping a little bit, 76, but 3/4 of the people are gonna turn it on for the DLC.
Okay. See, that's something. And I do wish now, seeing this, I wish there were an easier way for us to play this game with the community.
Yes! It's such a bummer that we can't just create a room, have people hop in with us, and get going. So, Nintendo still doesn't fully understand like how this online thing works. They figured out the mechanics of it, but not the social elements surrounding it, right? So...
Yeah, man, that's such a bummer, because it is something where I'm like, oh man, I'd love to like go online, do some continuation of the grudge match and play some Magic, but it's such a bummer that we can't just like open things up for the people that want to play with us.
Yeah, it'd be fun. I'd probably host regular streams if we could get the our viewers easily in there.
Yeah, with something as easy as a group login code, whatever is usually used. Yeah, it's a bummer. All right.
Ryan says, I'm not getting battling until Critter is back. See, this is what we're dealing with, Jake. This is what happens when you cut the goalie who's been there for both games before.
I understand. I see the light now. I get it.
Yep.
I love the love in this chat for the smaller characters, for Real TMP 920, Monty Mole. A great character.
He was in Charged, wasn't he? Yeah. Let's bring him back.
Yes. A staple. Hammer Bro, and the other thing about these characters was in the older games they had those like character specific abilities. So like I still remember all those. Hammer Bro throwing the hammers, Monty Mole digging around. So fun. I've seen a lot of love for Diddy Kong. Birdo, also a veteran from past games. Goomba, was Goomba ever in?
This actually raises a good point. No, Goomba was not. So Goomba, yeah, that's surprising actually. He has feet. Why is he playing sports where he needs hands, but not ones where he only needs feet? I don't get it, Jake. What is this logic happening here? Oh, Kevin with the Luma suggestion. That's a good one. Luma's could be cute. Okay, here's the deal though. As much as I love the returning, as much as I love all the characters in the previous games, if all we get are returning characters, that will be a complete bummer. Like, I want some new ones here. So if we get Diddy, like, that's great, but that's at the expense of someone new, right? At this point, as far as we know. So, like, you mentioned Funky Kong earlier. Yeah, give me Funky. I want to see him surf on a surfboard, like, hit that ball while up in the air while shouting out his, surfer slang, whatever he does.
And Andre, I do want to bring up that on our last stream, we were talking about how many DLC characters we thought we were going to see. I said 5. You said 10.
Oh, don't.
It looks like...
Don't do it. You already beat me once, Jake. Do you have to keep beating me? I don't get this.
Never mind. Who knows what you said? I don't know what you said. I don't know.
I did say 10. I did say 10. Yeah. So maybe I hope past Andre is right then. That way, so we get continued DLC into next year. So.
And listen, we could be surprised, and the next group of DLC just has 3 characters instead of 2. We could also be surprised, and the next one has 1. So, we'll have to wait and see. But I am glad that we had this reveal, and they're going to be playable in just like 2 days. I think that's always the way to do it. I appreciate that. Getting ready for the weekend, nice.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Real quick, happy birthday, Liam. That's awesome. Great way to celebrate with Daisy on your birthday. Daisy and Shy Guy. And no, I totally agree with you, Jake. I think actually this might, I was thinking about this earlier. So we've had no July Direct, no core Nintendo Direct in quite a few months at this point. And it seems like we're not going to at this point, considering we're just getting a lot of Twitter drops. We got the random Kirby game announcement, we're getting this DLC, and I'm sure that trend's going to continue. And it made me wonder, like, why? Why is Nintendo doing this? And I wonder if part of it is the fact that by doing these smaller drops, like, it may actually bring some of it more attention. Like, we're having a dedicated stream right now to Mario Strikers. We probably would not have had it been part of Nintendo Direct. So I wonder if they're onto something here, maybe. I mean, I don't think we're never gonna see another Nintendo Direct again. I'm sure we will, but I do wonder if there's merit at points to using a different rollout structure for these announcements than purely the Nintendo Direct model.
Definitely. I mean, that makes sense to me. This morning, I think I've made 5 videos about this.
Yeah, you did.
This has been my whole day. So that's part of it. And I think the other part is, you have a Direct. Let's say you have a Direct a couple weeks ago. You announce this DLC. Now, am I waiting 3-4 weeks to play?
Great. Actually, that is an excellent point. So, yeah, if they announced all this DLC at once, we're not getting it all at the same time. That would be absurd. So that is a great point. They can announce it, have it out within just a couple of days, and you don't have that wait time. You don't have to. No. Yeah, you're just ready to go, and that's actually kind of fun. And we also have, and you mentioned earlier at this point, we're also expecting Mario Kart anytime now. I don't think we're getting it this week at this point. I'm guessing that might be a next week thing. But we're also still waiting on. I mean, actually, that may not even be true. But we're also waiting on a update for Switch Sports, because we know that the soccer lifestyle update is still incoming. And based on data mines, I think we're at the end of the at the end of all the pre-planned content you can unlock in the game. I mean, they need to add some more to that too, I would imagine. So
they announced golf. The golf,
yeah. But that's for the fall. The golf's coming in the fall. Yeah, so we're getting the lamer leg strap accessory update first. But they could be adding more things with that too. So
golf's out till the fall?
I know, can you believe it, right? Like, it looked like it was done. What did they have to do? It's the same stuff as before.
Oh, this is absolute. Andre, I've been in my head thinking any day. Any day.
I'm sorry, Jack. I'm sorry to break it to you this way. You're seeing a man's spirit leave his body on stream in this very moment. It's so sad.
Oh man. Well, that's brutal. But you're right. I think we do have to get that update, and I also think that you're right. We kind of reported on there being data mined other sports for Switch Sports. So I guess that has to come at some point, but now based on this, I guess I'm not gonna be hearing about those till the winter.
You would think golf would be first, but hey, I'd be happy if they just shadow drop dodgeball. Sign me up for that. Yes. SSK real quick, going a little bit off topic here. Us, not them. Says I kind of find it strange that Shy Guy's wearing a protective mask over his normal mask. That's a great point. I mean, I guess Shy Guy's mask is purely cosmetic. It's not meant for sporting. It's not sporting grade.
I always assumed that was Shy Guy's face, and he just had a face that could fall off.
I kind of like how we've seen Toad's cap pop off at times, like in the cartoons and whatnot.
Oh, I have never seen that, and I have no desire.
I don't think it's canon. I think Nintendo has said it's not a hat. Actually, I believe Nintendo's been back and forth on this. Like, officially canon-wise, it goes back and forth, I think. You haven't heard about this whole debate? Is it a hat or a part of his head?
No, that's just his head, right?
All right, well, I don't know.
Oh, no, dude.
Dwarvilo says Boo and Nabbit. Boo was also in charge, so there is a history for that, and Nabbit would be new. I think Nabbit could be a fun new character.
Man, what's the relevancy level on Nabbit?
It's pretty low at this point. I mean, I think he did come back for New Super Mario Brothers Deluxe. That was it, right? Yeah, New Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe. He came back for that. But that's been about it. Was he in any of the spin-offs? I feel like he was. I feel like he had to be in a spin-off. Was he? No, he was in a Mario Golf. Yeah, Mario Golf.
Oh my God, you're right.
That's right. Yeah, he was a DLC character, I think, right?
Yeah, I remember. I think he was in. Oh, he's in Mario Kart Tour. Okay, so Nabbit's fairly relevant.
Yeah.
Now I feel like we have to do a video ranking the relevance of Mario side.
I love it. We should do that. That'd be great. The relevancy of these forgotten Nintendo characters. You know what? But you know what I love though about these characters, Jake, is they're never out. They're never gone completely. Daisy, she was completely irrelevant until she came back in Mario Tennis, I believe. We've had countless Nintendo characters like seem to fade away before they come back. The Koopalings, also forgotten until we're now at a point where there's too much of them. We have too many. We see too much of the Koopalings.
Yeah, for real. The Koopalings are everywhere, and I think that's like such a strength of these Mario sports games. And I think something that looking at Mario Strikers, even initially, people were kind of like bummed out about that low roster size because I think part of the charm of these games is letting you play as Kamek.
Right.
You know what I mean? Somebody that you otherwise would never get to play as. So it's something that like these games, along with Mario Kart, and I definitely hope for the next Mario Kart, maybe we eschew some of those Koopas in favor of, I don't know, like Wiggler and, you know, characters like that. Because I do think that is a strength, and it is so fun and nice and jolly when we do get to play as this character.
Yeah, totally agree. And again, I especially love the energy the next level brings to all of these characters.
Yeah.
So, I mean, ultimately, you know, I mentioned before, if we only get returning characters, that is a bit of a bummer. I would hope we do get new ones. But I'm always happy to see what next level games can do with them. Because even with the returning characters here, they always find something new to do. And I can't wait to see how they express themselves. Ninstar Rose says, Queen Bee, baby. that'd be a throwback.
That'd be awesome, dude. Just one day we get up, we're checking the news, YouTube. Queen Bee!
Now Mario Strikers. I love it. All right, Jake. The only thing we haven't talked about yet, I think, is what other levels could they add? It does seem like if they follow the template here, we'll get at least 2 more arenas. What more do we want to see?
Okay, well, I think what we want is irrelevant, and I think what we will be getting is an ice world, and
okay, hold on, real quick.
Okay,
Ice world, yes, as long as it's Rosalina's. Like, if we have like a Rosalina ice world thing, sure.
It'll be called a Frosty Skate Rink. I'm so sorry.
No.
Like Ice Cube.
Oh,
like it'll
man.
be
Ice Cube.
Yeah, so that'll be one. And I think, you know, sometimes they do kind of like an industrial type thing. That could be another one. I don't think they would do like an aquatic stage. That's hard for me to put in my head.
You know, I kind of love the idea. Like, if you end, oh my god, what if you end up in like it's half underwater, right? You get these floatier physics, the ball moves slower. That's what I want. I want these properties. Oh my god, the added properties, Jake, to these arenas, like an a lower gravity one, like in space or something on the moon for Mario Odyssey. Like that's what I want. I want the moon for Mario Odyssey here. Low gravity, give that to me, baby.
This is kind of an interesting idea, since there is that split of the stage crossing over into one end, changing things. That is a cool idea. Yeah.
That'd be wild.
Man.
I want a Mario Galaxy stage that's upside down, so like you revert to the ceiling and the camera has to flip down.
Oh man, that'd be crazy. I'm trying to see, does anybody in the chat have stage ideas? Ice and beach. Oh, beach, that's probably how they would do it. A beach. Yeah, that's a good idea. Oh yeah, industrial one, that one's in there. Yeah, so I guess the idea is that I think we're only gonna get 2 more. So like, ice and beach, I guess.
Oh my god. Jake, I hope for the sake of these arenas that your crossover idea ends up coming true, because we need something more interesting. Okay, New Donk City I could work with, SLM. Yes, New Donk City, that could be a fun one. I'm already picturing it now, like a city belt. Yeah, that's perfect. That's great.
Oh yeah, Pauline with New Donk City.
Yep.
Lock it in.
That's actually a good one. That's actually a really good idea. Especially because we already had New Donk City come back for Mario Golf. So I could totally see that. I want a human character from Mario Odyssey as a playable character in this. One of those like 1940s like guys walking around.
Well, you can now have them as your icon.
That's true.
Nintendo Switch.
Yep.
So their relevancy level, they're climbing. They're climbing every day.
They're on the upward trajectory, baby. Heck yeah. I love it. Oh my god. Actually, yes, Jake, as part of your video that we totally have to do for the relevancy, we need like a trend. Like, are they trending up? Are they trending down?
Oh yeah, he's trending up. Those guys are trending up. Yeah. Gosh.
All right, I'm trying to think. If we had non-Mario arenas are a possibility, what areas could we have? Could Zebus be here? It's a Zebus? It's Zebus. Hyrule Field? I don't know. Any specific areas? Can you play soccer in the Temple of Time?
Oh, see, that'd be so cool. I feel like they did such a good job in Mario Kart. And now thinking of Mario Kart, like I'm thinking about Animal Crossing, and that'd be such a cool stage too. But yeah, I think like I think the cool thing about doing a stage from another place would be, and I don't think they would go this far, but like if somebody from the crowd throws an item box, the item box being something different, making that like a, I don't know, whatever that would be given that game's world. I think that would be really cool, and just little things like that I think go a long way. But yeah, I'm trying to think of like a specific other games. What has a good enough look that you'd go, boom, I'm there?
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, there's tons of them. Smash Brothers has tons of them, of course. But like, what works well with a soccer setting, right? Like New Donk City is almost a little too perfect. But what else could work? I'm gonna focus on this or think on this. In the meantime, Gabe's Universe says, "Did you catch that Daisy's entrance is the animation for a special item in Charged?" I did not. That's.
Wait, what is it?
Apparently her entrance animation is the same animation as using a special item in Mario Strikers Charged.
Interesting. Okay, I'll have to go back and look into that. That
could be TikTok material. So we'll look into that. Thanks for the heads up there. Jack asks, what characters do you think will? Oh, sorry, that's not what we'll read. Crash Spiral Forever says, Baby Mario, Baby Luigi. No more babies. We've had enough of the babies.
Baby Mario, Baby Luigi, my Mario Kart Double Dash mains. Thank you very much.
Oh. Okay, because it's Double Dash, I'll allow it because everything in that game is perfect. So.
Oh, magnificent!
It really is.
Bring back Donkey Kong Jr. as an adult, says Wario Zone.
Yes. Oh, that's how you bring him back. That's how you do it.
That's how you get him trending up.
I mean, yeah, you can trend them up exactly. You age them up to trend them up. The weird thing is, I think if I'm remembering my original Donkey Kong lore correctly, isn't the current Donkey Kong supposed to be the original Donkey Kong Jr. before Nintendo changed it? And Cranky Kong was the Donkey Kong. So Cranky Kong was DK, and the current Donkey Kong was DK Jr. Until Nintendo screwed everything up and made, I don't even know what the relation is now. I already forgot, but.
Does this have to do with the Kong Wars? You know about
the Great Kong Wars, the entire Wikipedia entry on that. Yep. Yeah. Oh man.
Oh gosh. Oh, so I'm seeing some Joker suggestions in the chat, like Pink Gold Peach. I don't think so.
I thought you meant actual Joker, like Persona Joker. Pink Gold Peach. Yeah, no. I did see that she's apparently getting something today. What was it? I saw something about her today that she's now in.
Wait, you're kidding me?
No, I'm serious. Like a Lego or like Hot Wheels or something? Chat, catch me up here. Like, or correct me. What was it? What did I see? Tell me what I saw.
Pink Gold Peach's relevance level continues to shock me.
How does she? That's forced relevant. Hot Wheels. Thank you, SD. That's forced relevance. It's only because Nintendo crammed her through. No one actually cares, I don't think.
Oh, Ninstar Rose just said the perfect crossover. Splatoon.
Yes, actually. Oh my God. Those. I mean, I feel like it shares a similar space as Guigi, where you can have like the transformations, and yeah. So that could work, and you can have multiple of them per team. Okay, yeah, let's do it. Splatoon could be a fun one. I mean, they already have the 4. Oh my God, they already have the 4 versus 4 rivalry. It is too perfect, Jake.
Oh yes, and I like the idea of the stage. I love it being like an urban playground with all that. Yeah, oh man, so cool. That's a really good one. Yeah, that's a really good one.
Okay, I love that. Yeah, that'd be fun. So. All right, Jake, is there anything else we need to address about this DLC or the future DLC that we haven't talked about yet?
You know, I think we've addressed it all high and low, but now my investment on Guigi higher than ever.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think Guigi's a shoo-in at this point. I mean, he better be. It's just too fitting. Next Level Games character, a great character. They can do some fun stuff with him. I love it. Chat, thank you so much for hanging out with us as we talked for almost an hour, much longer than I expected about this DLC. It's always a fun time. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned to GameXplain for tons more coverage of this game, including the DLC when it hits Thursday night, Friday morning, depending where you're at. And it should be a ton of fun. So we'll see you there. We have live streams, all kinds of coverage. Should be fun. And I think, Jake, are we gonna be streaming Multiverses later? Is that still in the cards, or?
Listen, if that's what the people want,
all right,
that's what Yeah.
I heard. That's awesome. I think it's gonna happen, everyone. So stay tuned for that probably pretty soon. All right, everyone. Have a good rest of your day. Catch you later. Bye.